I would like to investigate the now glowing shrapnel of the statue and look for anything unique. Under Right, I understood that. I just wanted to see if there was anything that in the rubble that I can find, gems, anything different. The eyes, if I can find the eyes that glowed.
Parallelograms made of black stone.
Cool. I'm gonna turn on detect magic, and actually, I'm gonna sit down and ritual cast detect magic because we haven't rested yet, and then look and see if there's anything else that stands out. Cool. Are there any lights on in the village that we are next to? Then I'm going to sit down in the mud and get my long rest.
I want to find a place that's not in mud to sit down in trance because I am very tired from everything.
Um,
That's Yeah, I just want to find some nice not mud ground like a boardwalk or a big rock or just something I can sit on to trance that is not mud.
Is there like, I don't know, maybe a park or a place that's obviously some kind of gathering place, like a square where they could hang out, just so that they're not going to be just as disturbed? Okay. I'm just wondering out loud if that might be a good place for them to be, since normally there are people there and they wouldn't look like, I don't know, random derelicts or something.
Mizeki is going to grumble constantly about the fact that he can't go into his ring at this point. But otherwise, yeah, he's just down to find his place to sleep. Doesn't really matter as long as it's minimal mud. Yeah, once per day. Yeah. It doesn't specify, I believe. It's one of those where like they've mixed day and long rest and all together. So it's up to you. It is long rest specifically. Okay, yeah, they fixed the wording on it. Till you finish a long rest.
Well, if I see everybody else like just start wandering into town after like 5 minutes of sitting there, I just kind of shrug and get up and
Don't we
kind of
have a tent?
very exhaustedly for a robot stumble into town looking for the rest of my party to hang out with them.
I don't think we bought one necessarily.
I still have a two-person tent listed in my inventory, so we still have tents,
Nice.
I assume.
Awesome. So yeah, we're gonna form like a homeless camp, I guess, for a few hours.
Hello, I'm Zerdig. I don't know these people. No, I'm just kidding.
Mizeki will kind of slowly get up, which he makes sure to take quite a long time to do because he's a horse and people don't understand how long it takes to get up, so he can kind of play into it. And he's gonna basically reach for his back and be like, "We're here on behalf of the council, investigating disappearances of children in the area. The remains of the statue here were involved." And he's gonna hold up his paper and just like be exhausted. We're going for like DMV employee that's been working 7 hours straight and just wants to go home. Zeki's gonna look at Alandiel and or Ore to explain that part, as one of them's a cleric and the other's a robot.
At this point, I'll come out of my long rest, look up at the townsfolk who are asking, and reply. Every time someone used that statue for its gifts and its boons, a child from that neighborhood was stolen. We found that this was the evidence of an experiment Typhon put into play many years ago. It was not a very fine statue. It was a ruse.
We have the drawings of some of the grave sites, don't we? I know Alandia was making drawings of
Hmm.
a lot. Oh, there he is. Yeah, so we can present like some drawings and explain like this is what we found and roughly where, because they're not going to run off and do it because it's dangerous. But
I'll use thaumaturgy to make my voice boom um, really loud so the people everybody will hear. Um, Well, we were on council business, searching for lost children in Hamlet, hearing stories of children going missing for hundreds of years, towns, people disappearing, no one knowing where they were. So we trudged on into the heart of the folly, through the muck, through the grime, battling the very wilderness and ground itself. There we found in the heart Typhon's lab, surrounded by walls, an immense graveyard littered with graves, naming only numbers and villages of those who died. We descended into Typhon's lab, and I hold up my book and I flip the pages, kind of like I'm recanting and showing them each page of the drawing of the things that we encountered. Inside the lab, we discovered the foul deeds that Typhon had done that had come on upon this land, this curse and the area. The reason that you needed that statue for protection was the same reason that this land is the way that it is. That statue was a curse, it was a trap created by Typhon, that while granting wishes, the price for those wishes was children. That suffering caused to those children's souls in the labs was incalculable, something that we could not allow to continue. And I'll use thaumaturgy to make the ground shake as I say that. Um, and then that statue, those deeds done, um, the pain and suffering get brought to families, breaking them apart, never knowing what happened to their children, what happened to their loved ones, has finally come to an end. Those families can now rest. People will now be able to be secure in their homes once more, no longer fearing of their families going missing. And I'll let my voice go back to normal. Does the person that comes up have any iconography on themselves?
Bite,
I am
bite, bite,
Alandil,
bite.
a servant of Ardenwale.
Ooh, I don't know what the religious greeting for my religion is, but Mizeki will perform it tiredly, but with a great deal of care.
May the Star Mother be with you. And I take my hand to my chest and then I raise it away as kind of a fist and then open it into 5 fingers representing starlight.
I assume it's something along the lines of "May the scales fall in your favor" would probably be reasonable. We don't actually know that part for certain, do we?
From our experience, the children that were recently taken were from the city of Blue Lake, while the statue was outside of Hamlet to the south. I'm not sure if the children predate or precede the appearance of the statue, but something along those lines is the configuration that we have discerned.
When we were in Typhon's lab, we found missing children there. And the time that they had said they were in his lab, from their recollection, roughly was about the same amount of time that the last confirmed wishes were granted. Um, Lining up with the visions that Arnwell had given me about Typhon statue was visions from Arnwell that led us to push on to dive deeper into Typhon's folly. Um, we were able to find and save those children, and their disappearance lined up correspondingly with the time that a wish was granted. We do not believe that they were coming from the same town, and that's how the correlation between the statue granting wishes was not discovered, because it'd be very obvious if it took them from yours. The statue travels around city to city and the village to village and takes them from the preceding village. And that's why people didn't know and weren't able to put 1 2 together until we'd actually gone in and found the lab. A place to rest would be quite um, lovely. Now we traveled that statue, rushing to get the children home, fighting the statue, and then battling it and enduring a night of travel through the marsh. A rest would be lovely.
My first thought was literally we take his house.
Thank
Like
you.
we
You have
literally like physically take it. Sorry.
Thank you. That is a most gracious offer. I believe we will all take you up on that.
Definitely. We can set up the tent nearby and next that he's basically done. He's gonna just immediately make his way towards like point and be like this way or
I presume Ore is just sitting on the bench next to the tent, just sitting fairly motionless still.
or he's still covered in mud from the
Oh yeah,
waist
we're all
down.
covered in mud.
Awesome.
Is that more of prestidigitation or like gust? Got it.
I look for the comfiest chair and then sit down.
I stand next to that chair.
Yeah. Zeki's gonna kind of get himself wedged in the corner against the wall a bit, probably.
I have a bedroll. I just look for enough space to stretch out.
I sold mine. Oh, before we do that, can I cast this without materials now? I think I can. I think I can cast Find Familiar without materials now. Okay, yeah. Right. Never mind. So first thing I'm doing is 1000% doing that and summoning my imp. Yeah.
I'll use
Yep.
my last third level spell slot to cast Sending, and I'll send Granite a message as they're on their way to the council. From the last thing he said, they're taking the papers there about the statue and the kids. I'll come up with the 25 limit, but I'll do that before I take my rest.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I still need the components. That's sad. Yep. No worries. Yeah, I can cast it as original. Okay. Yep. Yep. So I'll just need to get some charcoal and herbs or incense or whatever. There's many things. Yeah. Nowhere. Ah,
Yes. Did we get the name of the town when we were there?
I think so. Yeah, we talked to some people and stuff.
I didn't have it written down. I'm sorry. Gotcha. Oh, I do have it noted. I'm sorry about that. I
Have
apologize. I forgot
we
there was a name.
sent a message to the other party yet?
That's
I'm gonna
what Alondiel just did. He sent it to Granite.
I'm typing up my 25 words, and I'll
Yeah,
send
you're
it
sending
them
it to
before I-
the actual like people that hired us, not the other party, right?
to
Though.
the other party, to one of the
Oh,
other party members. Yeah. Yep.
okay, yeah, cool. And we did get the name of this village. It's Vinewood. Cool. So with that, just pass out and try and sleep muddy against a wall. Oh yeah, we've been cleaned. Also, he's probably been prestidigitating himself the entire time. So constantly, just
Ooh, choose me. Zerdig would ask for that too. Please
yeah,
clean up this filthy
yeah.
armor.
Sir, this is a PG-13 stream.
Awesome.
Since I think both Zirdig and I do not have to have the full 8 hours, uh, if we have an hour or two before everybody else comes out of their long rest, I'm going to pull him aside and say, Zirdig, we acquired this pearl from Typhon's lab, and I think this may benefit you pretty efficiently. As I have discerned from it, I believe it lets you cast an additional spell roughly once a day if you are out of your reserves. And I give
Oh,
you the
that's
pearl of power.
amazing. he will take the pearl, and never wanting to be rude, he's gonna hold up a lantern, and the lantern has like an eye in it, and he's gonna give it to Ori. He's gonna say, "I just invented this. I'm pretty sure, although it's not tested, that it'll help us see invisible creatures." Mechanically, it's a lantern of revealing. It's one of his new infusions he got, and he can infuse
Nice.
3 items now.
Nice. So I have a lantern of revealing in my inventory.
Yeah,
Got
and it works just like a normal lantern. So basically, you can just it doesn't require attunement either. So you can just turn it on, and then if there's anything within, I think it's 30 feet of you, then that's invisible. Then you can see. We can all see it.
Cool. I like that. I like that. Thank you. Got
Yeah,
it. Got it.
you can be like, nah, never mind.
So, like in 3 months, I'll turn around. Zirdig, this doesn't seem to be working. We're being attacked by a lot of tiny, invisible pygmies.
Zerdig will just give you the side eye. You broke it.
Okay. My message was returned children safely to Blue Lake, destroyed Typhon's trap statue, missing children resolved, lab still standing, let council know I think it should be destroyed. Cool.
We should definitely report to the council as well before they get back. Once you guys are awake in the morning, just saying. I don't trust them.
You don't trust who?
I don't trust the other team.
We saved them
We
all too.
they're alive. I remember that fight. We definitely carried it. Which is why we're going to let the council know that they're bringing more information, but that we found this stuff and told them to pass it along.
This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait for this rivalry to grow as they were like level 3 or 4 last time we saw them, and then we'll just keep growing up together, competing parties.
Did we ever get the name of their party?
We
Their
don't have a
party is
name
called
either.
Actually a Party.
We called them the C team, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Not to their
not to
faces
their
or anything.
faces. Yeah. If our relationship grows into open animosity, then yeah, we can see them at the festival and be like, "What's up, C team?" But I hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yes, just to let them know that they're bringing further information and we've resolved this, we believe. So we're going to come back. No, I let Alondiel pick. I don't feel like I have a particular favorite unless my counselor is around. It would probably. Yeah, I was thinking the one that's in charge of this area, right?
Yeah, I can send Goodman I've met him, right? Yeah, I can send him a message. To come up with what you want me to send.
Just basic idea of solved missing children. Gave information. What temple laboratory remains? Typhon lab remains. We have a map, right, relative to the area. Location.
Yes, we do.
Result missing children. Typhon lab remains. Have map to area. Statue destroyed. Clones destroyed. Returning to Drusus. How many words is that? Cool. And then you can add whatever you'd like on the end there if anybody has anything else they want to put in. I don't want to talk about that right now over message. Like that feels like an in-person conversation.
Sure,
Can we add
that's
a
I
bunch
was
of
thinking the same
emojis?
thing.
Winky
Yeah,
face
We'll
and
emoji,
add
some
winky face
winky
emoji.
faces and
saved and resolved missing children.
what's the eggplant emoji? You can add like 4 eggplant.
Can we just set them like there's 8 words, right? Can we just do like badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom? That's perfect. It
Buffalo,
fits.
buffalo, 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 buffalo. Hey, it's a complete sentence and grammatically acceptable.
It is. With as few as 3 buffaloes and as many as infinite.
I just imagine eggplant emoji because Elondiel draws it and they get it and they're like, what the hell? Like you visualize an eggplant. Coolio.
How long do we have until the next King's End festival?
30 minutes.
And is JoyCon happening again this year? DruidCon, yeah. Cool. And is it also just before the King's End festival?
Oh, nice.
Cool. Got it.
We should hire all the druids to help destroy the statue. Perfect plan. No downfall.
None.
I mean, I feel like at this point, all of us can go to DruidCon. What are they going to do? Have their god stop us? Is their god even alive? Sansi can pretend to be a druid. What if she just pretends to have a really bad cough?
What is this pretend? First off,
All right, I guess is there nothing else really we want to do here, right? Like we slept. We're not going to get a bunch of gold or anything from these poor villagers out in
Or
Mudland.
are we? Thief Simulator 2022.
Steal his chair. Did did we ever figure out if there was a tree much closer to Drusus that was big enough that we knew about? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, at this point, how far away
Yeah. Okay. Like a few days. Yeah. Let's do that then. That sounds like a good plan. Maybe we can find someone there who's familiar with a tree and they can hold the thing and send us.
I'd kind of like to go through the hamlets and let uh, the old lady Amberfond know that no more missing children will go missing, and confirm, let her know she's not crazy.
There's the problem of the sun there that doesn't want us there.
Tough.
Well, yeah, but we've solved the missing children and he can go to Butts. We're going to tell his mom,
I mean,
hey, we figured out an ancient evil in the area and destroyed it. You're welcome, Mayor Man.
we could also bring his message back to the council if we go back there. Well, when we go back there in 3 months. Well, should be a 100% faster turnaround time than what he's had. He's been waiting for what, like 3 years, I think it was.
Oh, I don't. I just straight up just like walk through all of them, cross the river right into the other one, go right to the like let them know, like, hey, children of like no, I don't know. I've got days to think about it, but I'm just imagining myself walking into town like citizens using thaumaturgy, just booming like, no more missing children.
Sounds like, yeah, that sounds like more people like moved into the villages and stuff and it started just stealing from there instead.
I agree with
The statues probably having a harder time getting up that far, um, for other reasons as the area changes and stuff.
Alondiel. We should let the old lady know.
Yeah, I am 100% down to let the old lady know and stick it to authority a little bit.
Yeah, we wouldn't even say. I just like we can just keep going, but I do want to let her know, like, hey, we found him. You can rest. Yeah, I'd like to go that way. Um, make sure you see, verify if he made it home safe, and if he didn't, give his family some money.
I agree. Kind of like backtracking and kind of give everybody a heads up of what's happened, and like make sure everybody, like again, like that guy made it back. Let the old lady know. I'm on the same page.
Making our way downtown. Yeah, wasn't sure. I was like, wasn't he a lizard man? Okay, yeah, that's right. All the lizard people sound the same to me, so I'm sure that's happened a lot. Which we wonder.
I'm so glad to see that you made it back. That was one of my great fears, is that the swamp would have retaken you.
It is very impressive. And again, I do apologize for you dying, but I'm happy that you have gotten better and that you were able to make your way home. It is good to see you.
Typhon's lab and children. We were
A
able to,
terrifying cursed statue.
yes, we were able to cleanse the lab of Typhon's foul experiments, and we returned children who had gone missing from Blue Lake. We found them trapped in cages and were able to successfully return them to their parents and their families. Sadly, the Wish statue will not be returning to Branbu. It was a magic trap set by Typhon, that was using the power of stealing children to grant its wishes, and it has been destroyed.
That's the worst Powerpuff Girl.
That is
I mean,
correct.
not in so many words, but
But
yeah.
it is not of your responsibility. It was the lie that the statue was created for. None of this was the responsibility of those who have cast wish or received boons from that statue.
In Elven, I will approach him and be like, Kvorn, you're instrumental in bringing down uh, that foul magic by Typhon. Without you, we would have been lost in those swamps and the bogs, the folly. Without you, more children would be missing. Because of you, we saved the lives of 3 children and were able to return them home. None of that would have been possible without you. You have nothing, no shame to worry about. Take solace. Erinwell confirmed your time is not yet. I still believe there's work to do, and you have done great deeds.
You were not at fault. This was not you who caused this. And as Elondiel had stated, because of you, we were able to thwart this from ever happening again, and we were able to save children because of you. That is the recompense. You have allowed us to save anyone from ever being taken by that statue again.
And oh, sorry. He's going to say, and greater representatives will be coming to ensure the lab is fully destroyed and no more evil will spread from it.
I'll embrace and hold him till he's the one. I'll let him decide when it ends. And I'll comfort him and say that may Eren bless you and your family for the great deeds you have done in putting an end to that evil.
I'm just
There was no way anyone could have known. Typhon had contingencies upon contingencies to make sure that his business continued without him. He had clones set up and contingencies and backups. He buried and hid his lies. Well, there is no shame, no fear, no guilt that you need on your shoulders.
if it is any consolation, his own doings undid him.
Almost a nation.
Oh man, I forgot the name of the burger. The barbecue burger.
Oh yeah, what do we call that burger?
Yeah. Oh man, what's it
That's
What
like
was
called?
20
your
episodes
brother's
ago.
name?
Ah, it was so good. I feel like
I
it
do
should
not.
be something appropriately, and Mizuki's going to say this loud, like something appropriately that points to the strength of the people that reside here and their ability to survive the elements and the difficulties of life.
I don't believe that the name of your nation should be given to you or put upon you by those who do not reside here or have not been raised here. Typhon is one of many things that has united you. There are many other similarities and strengths that you and your people from Hamlet, and Blue Lake, and all the surrounding villages have. That is something for you to decide unto yourselves. But I have faith in you.
I wonder.
We are heading there next. The very first thing we wanted to do is find out about you and prayer that you'd made it back safely. Yes. Next,
They may
we
not be hearing you. What?
oh, I say next. Now knowing that you are okay, Kvorn, we plan on going to uh, the old Mayor Amberford, who still remembers the children going missing from Hamlet, and informing her of our discoveries that she can rest finally knowing that it has been resolved.
No, you. Yeah, the stream can't hear Insanity, I think. Pointed it out. I hopped on the stream. I was trying to remember the key command to open the map. You guys have missed out on some really emotional stuff.
The
Most
lore
of it
drop
was
was
about how great
amazing.
Mazeki is, but
I missed that part too.
Why? Okay. There we go. They should be able to hear me now.
yes, they can.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Well,
I didn't notice because I keep it muted because otherwise you hear people constantly.
Right.
But you were lighting up correctly. It just wasn't
Yeah.
doing the sound stuff.
And like I didn't have my OBS open to be watching it and tracking it cuz
technology.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So a lot has gone on that you haven't heard from me as the DM. So this episode kind of sucks for everybody because you're only getting half of what's going on. But as Mizeki was saying, yeah, you missed some really, really emotional stuff about what is going on and the different things. To sum it up, at first everybody was mad at in the city of Vinewood, where the players destroyed the statue. They were mad that the statue had been destroyed until the players explained what happened and got everything going. From there, they decided that they wanted to travel to Branbu to check on Gavorn. And upon telling Gavorn what happened, he broke down into tears, blaming himself for everything that was going on. And it sucks that we're not going to have the recording of everything there. So you'll all just kind of have to trust us that it was amazing and everybody loved it and we all cried. But that sucks. One of those technical things that I need to check again before we start our sessions.
Yeah, I wish I'd noticed because it was lighting up fine, and that's usually how I notice like it's not picking you up.
Yeah, because like that's what I was watching too. Is it was lighting up the whole time for me, and I was like, oh yeah, it's working just fine, and gotta have OBS up, but normally I don't because I've got so many other things that I focused on, and I just watch the feed in Twitch, and that looks like it's fine because it lights up because it's connected to Discord. Ugh. Well, anyway, cool.
What's the map command on the bot?
I think it's world map.
World map.
Um,
World map. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that the place I want to suggest does not already exist. Because I know there's the Shimmering Isles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to suggest the new nation name?
Yeah. Is there anything with bramble in it?
There's not a nation with bramble in it.
Are there brambles here in the swamplands?
There's all sorts of overgrown plant growth here.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's all kinds of stuff. I like the bramble lands, personally.
Okay.
Because it speaks to a toughness and a hardiness and an ability to grow wherever you need to.
What about something like the allied towns of Cyprus? Cyprus is known to grow in swamps, and it has a pretty long life. It's usually pretty hardy.
I like that one a lot.
My only concern is that the Joy of Trees is just north of here. That's two tree-related places.
And the Joy of Trees is in the nation of Drusus. So.
Yeah.
Let's tell them to name their town Drusus Sucks.
Yeah, because that won't be confusing. What nation are you
Call
from?
it New
Drusus Sucks.
Oh, tell them to call it, name it Drusus with 2 S's at the end.
Wait, how many T's does it have?
So, yeah, like I mean, you could put the second S in the middle, so it's Drussus. You know,
I like Drusist, but the T is silent.
Drusist. Yeah, because that won't create confusion.
I
And
mean,
I'm fairly certain that suggestion would surely have any chance of them getting a nation state of their own shut down immediately by the nation of Drusus being like, no, that's just going to create more confusion. So, but yeah, so it's something for you guys to think about and pass along because you've already got that request from the city of Hamlet to discuss with them um, about them becoming a nation.
yep. Cool. So we've checked on this guy. He's not dead. We've made him very sad and attempted to comfort him.
Right.
It was great. The audience missed it a bit, but that's okay.
You
We
know,
promise it was emotional and we did our best.
one of the
They got the Elandil and Ore parts. So.
yeah, one of the benefits of my audio not working is I didn't get to hear my mistake of giving the wrong NPC that was in this town.
Yeah, there you go.
Because yeah, notes get mixed up and people. I'm like, oh yeah, that person. Nope, not that person. Not that person. This person. So, okay. All right. So, um, how long did you want to stay in the city of Brambu? It's
I feel like we're done.
early
What time
afternoon.
would we need early afternoon?
Yeah.
I say we'll stay the night and head out in the morning if Kvorn's willing to have us again.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, how far are we from?
So Hamlet's about a day's journey from Bamboo.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you
fair.
could push on through the night and arrive early in the morning, or you could
I feel
sleep
like
here
at
and
this
leave in the
point,
morning.
yeah, wandering through the woods at night is a good way for us to get attacked by things we don't want to fight.
So Brambu's on the very edge of Typhon's Folly, and so between here and Hamlet, it's all flat, dry
Okay,
land.
it's flatlands.
So, like, if anything's coming, Ore will see it with his robot eyes.
Ore, what do your robot eyes see?
Yep.
All right. I think I'm okay with. Do we want to push through or do we want to chill?
I'm okay resting here for the evening.
Okay. I mean, yeah, especially after all of the running around we did. That's fair.
I've got it, Izeki says, out of turn. Greenton. They name their town Greenton.
Did you make Mizeki say something or did you mean Zerdik?
Did I say Mizeki?
Yes, you did.
I am now role playing your character. Thank you very much. I meant to say Zerdig.
Like, for a moment, I was like, did I miss something in Discord where Mizeki said that and you were just voicing it?
No, we have
No, my
literally
bad.
combined. We did so good on that lock that we turned into one person.
Right?
I meant to say Zerdig. Zerdig suggests they name the town Greenton.
The nation.
Yeah, it's the whole nation.
If they get a
Yes.
nation state. Which
Are
they
there
don't
any
know if it
green
will be
veils?
granted to them. There's not a
Yeah,
green veil.
Greenvale.
Greenvale's a
do
good
it.
one. It
Greenvale.
sounds nicer than shitty swampland.
Greendale it is. Greendale Community College.
Did you say? I think we said Green Vale, not Green
Yeah.
Vale.
I think it was a V like Victor, not a D like Delta.
Oh yeah, I know, but I had to throw a community reference in there.
Yeah, but he has to throw it in.
Fair.
So,
I love their flag.
yeah. It's a good one. You guys could even suggest it to them.
I will also let Kvorn know that if he feels like telling the town, I'll leave that to his discretion on if he wants to let them know the details of the statue and everything. And if he does and anybody wants, I'm open for counseling and comfort in words of not their faultness.
All right. Okay. So yeah, Kevorn opens his home to you if you want to stay through the rest of the day and through the night. You are welcome to stay in Branbu and then head out for Hamlet in the morning.
That's what I would like.
Okay.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Let's have one of those patented almost a party
Um,
dinner scenes.
I
Chill
want to
and then leave.
ask if
With
they've got
giant vegetables.
the herbs and stuff, if they have the things I can use to cast my spell. I'm guessing they probably don't, but I figure I'll ask.
They don't, but I mean, charcoal is possible to make with a lot of the trees and things that come
I
from the
don't know
swamp.
if it's just charcoal or like if I have to have all of these things. It's not very clear.
It's a mix of it. You just have to have like 10
Yeah,
gold worth of those ingredients.
those things. They also
Um,
probably don't have a brass brazier.
no, they do not have the brazier
Yeah,
that you
well,
would
never
need
mind.
to put everything in.
I'll just
But you
buy
could
it in
start
the
getting your charcoal and incense and herbs, yeah, easily enough. So
Yeah, I'll get whatever they have because it feels symbolic to. This is where I grew stronger.
okay, yeah.
While Mizeki is gathering up herbs and stuff, I'm going to walk up to him. Mizeki, we acquired these slippers in Typhon's lab, and I've noticed with your impressive speed across the ground that vertical surfaces and uneven terrain does prove to be a little bit of a challenge for you. I wonder if these slippers will be able to help you eliminate that from being a challenge, to make your impressive movement even more impressive. And I give him the slippers of spider climb.
Unfortunately, they do not fit his body, so he
I
is
was gonna say, can I
unable
wear
to wear
shoes?
them.
Oh, is he not able to wear them at all? I was
No, that
thinking
Yeah,
makes
that would
sense.
be
I have
really
hooves.
cool if he
Yeah.
could.
yeah,
Well, because they adapt to humanoid shape
right.
naturally, but I'm not humanoid shaped. My upper half is, so I can
He
wear
needs
most
like the
things.
horseshoes of speed or something.
The
Yeah,
horseshoes of the Zephyr are the best.
or horseshoes of spider climb.
Yeah. What if we gave them to
Because
Satsu and
that
she gets
wouldn't be
double
scary
spider
to see a
climb?
horse on a roof on the ceiling. Just
Ninja
like,
horse.
how'd you get up there, horse?
No one will believe you. Then you shoot them.
Well, the description doesn't say anything about like what type of foot styles or if it needs to be a humanoid. It just says while
It
you wear these shoes.
Yeah, it's part of the general magic item stuff.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
Where like
Okay.
magic armor and things will resize to fit you as well as magic items, but like
Yeah.
it has to be something that you can wear in your form. Um, and so, since he doesn't have like feet and has hoofs,
Oh,
slippers are
that
not
sucks.
something he can wear.
That
I
would be
would have
really
loved
It
to
cool.
see
would
his
be
like
really cool
50 foot
though.
of movement up a wall. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay, so we're having a discussion about that I pronounced brazier wrong, but my opinion is no, it's the bra. I require a brass bra to summon my familiar.
A brazier.
Yeah, brazier.
yeah, it's a brazier. So,
It doesn't specify. It
but sure.
doesn't even say you have to burn the stuff in it. They must be consumed in fire. In a
So would you
brass bra.
actually need two?
No, you put it in the cups.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't you need two of them?
No, one bra has 2 cups.
I don't have 2 sets of boobs. Alright. We've been over this.
Yes, but a brazier is only for one, so you'd need two braziers to make a brazier.
Perhaps. Double bras.
All right. Well, you all are able to have a massive dinner with massive vegetables that are served. Um, a single pumpkin is able to feed all of you and still have more than 3/4 of it left over. You are able
Awesome.
to eat until you are full and then some.
I will give out some rock candy if anybody wants it.
Ori will only partake of the food if it's something he hasn't had before. You said there was pumpkin. How is it served? Is it served kind of like squash style, or is it like a pie?
So it's roasted. So
Roasted. Cool.
yep.
And there's a trebuchet and they sort of fire it at you.
Yeah, for sure. Totally. miniature trebuchets to throw food into your mouth from the table. That's how it's done in Brambu. And that's
Yeah,
canon.
that's how we do, that's how we do it in Brambu.
It's all sporks. They don't actually have knives or forks. They have the marriage of the two.
No, they don't have
They have-
sporks. They have trebuchets. We just
They,
established that.
they have trebuchets and they have sharp implements that they hold in front of them to cut it as it comes towards them.
So, all right. But
I
you
was
are
thinking catapults. I'm sorry.
all able
Yeah.
to continue and travel the next day towards the city of Hamlet. Now, this was the city
Woo.
of Hamlet that you only walked in, talked to the other group, and said, "Okay, peace out. We're going further south." So,
Oh, this is the one that was potentially angry at us because we came from other Hamlet.
yes. So,
Okay.
the question is, do you want to just kind of ignore them and just cross the river directly to the other Hamlet? Or if you want to go around, or if you want to talk to people in this Hamlet and make a whole new bunch of friends that you didn't get to make the last time.
There might be an orc here. I don't want to talk to them.
Hmm.
Do we have any reason to stop here? We're just gonna ignore them.
You could
I'm
literally
fine just walking by and crossing the river right into the other hamlet.
Let's do it. It's funny. This is gonna be this episode's version of jumping off the cliff in front of the town.
All right. So you guys just walk through the city of Hamlet. You get a lot of stares because you're a strange bunch of people, but no one seems to come up to you or approach you because either they just don't care or you intimidate them enough. But you reach the river and, you know, you see the people that are having fun throwing stones across the river, trying to hit people on the other side from both sides. Helandiel casts Water Walk, and you guys just walk across the river, and both sides just kind of stare angrily at you. And now instead of trying to throw rocks at each other, they begin trying to throw rocks at you guys. But none of them manage to connect, and you reach the other side of the river, for where everybody there just kind of stares and looks at you. And then one of them goes, "Oh, hey, it's those people that are from the council. Someone go tell the mayor that they're back."
I wave and I start making my way to his mom's house.
I follow.
Hey, Mayor, we're going to visit your mom.
Grandma.
It's his grandmother, right?
Grandma's house.
Yeah. We're going immediately to visit his grandmother. We don't care about him.
Mm-hmm.
We
He's
went over the
irrelevant.
river and through the woods, and we're heading to Grandma's house.
I mean, you haven't gone through the woods. You've just gone over the river.
We went through the swamp.
But yeah, you are able to make it to the mayor's house and knock on the door where you are greeted again by his parents, who invite you in as you're there to speak with their mother. And
Misaki's gonna immediately say to them, "So, fun fact: the grandmother is not crazy, and in fact, there has been a horrible curse upon the lands. We're here to let her know."
say what?
Just immediately get that out of the way, and then go to Alandiel, who has at this point presented the pictures and stuff several times. We have a slideshow.
You're saying our city's been cursed?
The entire
Not
region.
just yours.
The entire folly.
Okay.
It
So
may
then
actually
why
even
haven't
be
children
the
gone
folly.
missing from here in like 100 years?
Our belief is that something was either preventing the statue from coming here, or perhaps more people were available nearby, or we're not certain. It's a very complicated magical system.
What
I
statue?
asked that as I was the thing. I was going to ask him, like, do you have any stories of a statue of a woman holding a child that would seemingly come and go?
No.
It's been like 200 years, right?
Yeah.
For these
well,
people.
I'll ask. I'll see. I'll ask them to ask their mother,
Yeah.
Grandma's like,
Mayor's
of course,
grandma.
the statue. You
Which-
guys know, it's in the center of town.
Yeah, they'll come and get her and bring her down, and she's again in her state of old age where she doesn't have much vision or memory or
We gave her
common
owl's wisdom
sense.
last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. I would kind of lean down to her, take her hand, and cast enhance ability Fox's cunning
Okay.
for
Is it
bringing up her
cunning?
intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And as you do that, she immediately recognizes you and goes, "How many of them did you find?"
We saved 3, thanks to your help, and we prevented it from happening to anyone else ever again.
Their parents will be so happy to have their children back. I must go and tell them. Whose children were they?
Do we actually know?
No. And
We
you get
didn't.
the impression
We
that
got.
she's thinking that they're children
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, she's thinking they're children from here. But like,
Yeah.
we don't even know where those kids lived, do we? Like, they just went off with the doors. They might be dead.
No, they were in the
We dropped them off at Blue Lake.
With their
Yeah.
Blue
Oh,
parents.
Lake,
that's
yeah,
right.
we saved. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Blue Lake. Did they all live there? I can't. I'm honestly
Yeah.
forgot about this. Okay, cool.
All 3 of them had their parents run out and grab them.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, and then the parents were the ones that told you that the statue had just arrived in Blue Lake.
Yeah, and then we went and committed property destruction.
as we're so good at doing.
Secret ingredient of heroism is crime.
The secret ingredient is crime. See, and now we've moved on from the emotional part of the story to the let's make jokes part of the story, which is great. So
Let me
just remember, the silent part is emotional, and this part is supposed to be funny. So if you're not laughing,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
I'll shift gears for the audience. While I'm still holding her hands, and she says that she needs to go tell the parents, and I'll look her in the eye and say, "You have helped us prevent any further occurrences of this. You now get to rest. We will inform the parents. That burden is
Sounds
not yours any further."
sounds like you're gonna murder her, Ori.
And so with that, she'll say thank you to you, looking you directly in the eyes as she does so. And then she'll go, "I think I need to go and rest. But you have brought me great joy today."
It is our pleasure.
All right.
What would be a history, arcana, religion? What would be a good check to see if I could try and put some dots together on why the statue might not have been coming up this far for so long? Insight.
Investigation?
Let's see.
I have a thought on that.
Since you can't really investigate right now and you're far enough away, I'm going to say a general intelligence check just to kind of put pieces together from what you know already and try and make a logical deduction from there.
Mizeki got a 5.
13.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Ore. I was gonna say I'll cast guidance on Ore.
Okay, so Ore will get an extra d4 on his roll. Miseki's just like, statue gonna do what statue gonna do?
I mean, Mizeki's at this point. There was a lot of me and Ori both got 5s, so Londiel's our best bet with his 13.
Yeah, because Ore would get 9 at most. And Ore
Unless
did
Ori's
get 9.
D4 rolls a 12.
Yeah. So, Alondiel, with your information and that you have, you know that the statue was getting power from taking children, but you've heard of less and less children being taken less and less frequently. And so you can make a logical leap that the less power that the statue had, the more limited its range was. And so as less and less power was being given to it, its area that it could go to was less and less, because everywhere that you found this statue, it was near Typhon's Folly, with the furthest place being Blue Lake, which was really only far away from the folly itself because of the lake itself. And since you walked across the top of it, you don't know how bad the plant growth is down there, so you don't know really how far away you got from it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's less power, so it gets less juice each time because it's not getting as much, so it can't go as far before it needs to hit up a new place to get topped off again. Okay,
Yeah.
it's battery'd been running so long, its max charge couldn't hold as much anymore because there wasn't enough input juice.
Yeah, it's been running for over 1,000 years, so it's been a long time. So that would be your best guess, but you have no proof of that. But that
I
would
stand by it.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're all having this conversation and spreading this, as Amberfond gets up to go and rest, the door slams open, and the mayor walks in and goes, "So what did the council have to say?"
The stuff should be getting dropped off just recently. Looking into it, as well as we bring news from Brambu that they would like input on the name and are not fans of calling it Typhon. So it sounds like maybe a community council would be good to hold to with amongst all the villages to come up with a name that will make all groups happy.
Why
It's just
wouldn't we
not gonna
call it
tell them.
Typhon? Like, people know where Typhon's Folly is, so calling us Typhon makes sense. People
Well,
would
you
know where we're
see,
at.
It's
so you know
important
all
to
the
respect the
disappeared
will of the
children?
people.
You mean the stories that my grandmother tells?
Yes, and the
They're
many
real.
missing children
We
disappearing from the villages surrounding you that you apparently don't check in with often.
we found Typhon's lab. We found his graves of the people that he'd been experimenting on, and we found children currently in captivity. We were able to restore them to their families in Blue Lake, and have traveled around many of the villages to ensure their safety. Between Blue Lake and Brambu and Vinewood,
Yeah.
making sure that they are safe now.
Your dismissal of your grandmother's stories is a shortcoming of you, not of her. You should have respected more of what she had to say. She helped us save people today. And I walk out.
Or he just
Or
mic
a
drops
mic
and leaves.
drop.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks at you as you go by the door and just.
I follow Ori out and I say, you should probably swing by Drusus for the festival, and uh, you can have a council amongst the villages here to come up with a name that will make everybody equally happy. Your grandmother was right. She's done good.
All right,
And I
well,
follow Ori out.
what about the other four of you? I mean, Ito seems like the kind of person that won't resist a storm out when other people are doing
Yeah,
it.
Ito's totally down for a storm out, I
So
feel like.
Ito just sees Ore go out and Alondio go out, walks by,
Yeah.
just doesn't even acknowledge him, and just out the door.
Mizaki's gonna do basically the same thing. This guy's been kind of a butt to us, and I get why, but also he was kind of a butt. Like, it's not our fault.
Yeah, Zerdig has basically been following this group around ever since we left the mountainside, so he'll just kind of shrug and do the same thing and like say bye to the guy politely. He's not just gonna give him the cold shoulder, but he's also leaving.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm just
forgot to
gonna
pick my spells.
I'm just gonna follow everyone out.
All right. Satsi, as you are the last one to leave, you'll hear the parents begin yelling at him, talking about how rude it was for him to treat you like that.
Domestic affairs.
Yep. But you all leave the mayor's home and are still in the city of Hamlet, knowing that you're not welcome here. But Satsi, with a smile, gets a little bit of information that you could potentially use against the mayor in the future.
I feel like they can't stop us, so we're going to just leave of our own accord. Like, what are they gonna do?
Right. So from here, you could continue on the road, which will head northwest to Eilixdam, or you could just go straight north until you reach the Joy of Trees. So it depends on whether you want to go visit another city, or if you want to just go straight looking for a tree.
I'd like to visit
Sure,
another
dude.
town.
Would vote for another town
Yeah, I'm
too.
down for that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right.
Elf City, yes.
Yeah. So Eilixdam is about 2.5 days from Hamlet. And so you can make your way up there, traveling along the road. You also know that this area to the east of Hamlet is where you ran into the Bullets. And so you know sticking to the roads is generally better than venturing off the path. So you do decide to stay that on the road and head to Eilixdam. On the road, not much happens, but you reach the city after 2 days. As you are approaching the city, you do notice that there is overhead a bird that seems to be circling and following you as you get closer and closer to the city.
Is it a familiar bird like we've seen before?
I mean, you've seen all sorts of birds before. You have seen this
Yes,
kind
but
of behavior in birds before as well. And it's not typical bird behavior.
would per my assumption that this is the other druid. Is that the behavior that I'm seeing?
Not necessarily the other druid, but very likely a druid of sorts.
I'm gonna
Like,
message the bird.
you can't.
Got ya.
Message has a range
Oh.
of 150
120
feet.
Oh, is it super far
120.
away?
It's too far away
Okay.
for a message.
I'm gonna point at the bird and wave my arms.
So, all right. So as you point at the bird and wave your arms, you see the bird go into a controlled dive towards you. And just before it reaches you, you see it shift into an elven form and land next to you. This is Kinlamen, I believe, was how I pronounced that name. Let me double check what I wrote in my pronunciation.
Right.
Yeah, Kinlamen. He goes, so, what did you find?
Three live children, a bunch of children that have been turned into plant monsters, several graves, multiple clones, and this really cool staff.
Typhon was making a mockery of druidic concepts to curse the land and steal children. But he has been dealt with. No more children should go missing.
Interesting. I gathered information the best I could from the cities without them knowing I was there. Well, without them knowing I was me, at least. And neither of the hamlets seemed to know anything. Given that was my task, I reported back and returned home. Doing my normal scouting, I saw you approaching. You're an easy group to identify. You might want to work on that, in case you make any enemies.
I would like to take a moment to be mad at Wizard of the Coast for not allowing me to look like anything else but another centaur.
Wizards acknowledges your right to be mad.
Fair.
Yes.
Thank you. That is most earnest advice. We will take it under advisement.
So you've done
Have
good
you
work. I appreciate your help.
Thank you. It did take some effort to acquire the information and resolve the situation. Have you spent time in Elixidam?
Yeah, this is my hometown. It's where I grew up.
Do you feel we would be welcome there?
Yeah. We don't discriminate here. All are welcome. We're just a lot of elves here. We like the forests, tend to stay towards them, gather on their edges. A few cities in there, but the joy of trees, not too many cities in there out of respect to the forest itself. What brings you here?
Feel welcome there as well. At present, I believe we are just looking to continue exploring as we are returning to Drusus. We felt it'd be nice to see more of the terrain, more of the land, visit more of the towns.
Get a better feel. Let you guys know that Hamlet has sent a formal petition to the council for their new city state, and see what if you guys were interested in joining them or staying part of Drusus. And not it's been a while since I've been in an elf town, and it's nice to be back amongst our people.
We'll probably stay with the nation of Drusus, unless Drusus is willing to give up claim to the forest. We will stay with whichever nation the joy of trees resides in. But thank you for coming to inform us. And yes, come on in. It's always good to have more elves around. We just
Remind me of this guy's name again?
Kinlamin. So that's Quinlamin.
That is a very elvish spelled name.
Mhm.
Mizeki is excited. This is a place he's never been. Yeah, and we call him Ken, is what he told us to call him, right? So
Yeah.
I think? Yeah.
Probably most of the time he introduces himself just as Kin. So
Yeah. Yeah.
by
Super
his
excited.
first syllable. So
Let's go explore a new place with new people
Mhm.
that isn't a swamp.
Yeah, isn't wetlands easy enough to do? So yeah, you go into the city of Ilixdam. For Alandiel, this feels like going home for you. The architecture here is a lot more familiar to you from what you're used to growing up. For everybody else, it's significantly different than what you're used to in your nations. It's a lot more sleek and elegant in a lot of places. Where you can see that great care has been taken into every bit of the design. And it's not like the fine craftsmanship of stone that you would see in the Undermountain when you were there visiting the dwarfs. Visiting taken lightly. But you are able to make your way into the city. This is a fairly large city, so you can find pretty much anything that you're looking for here. With the exception of maybe some magical items and artifacts. But you're able to get the stuff you need for your Find Familiar spell, Mizeki, here. That's easy enough to do. Ore, you notice around town that there are several signs and things that are left in Druidic that are basically like drop points for messages that you need to share amongst other druids. And they're easy enough for you to spot as you're going through the city.
Noted. I make a note to myself, and I do not share with the rest of the party.
All right.
So Mizeki's immediately gonna go off and be like, a magic store, and get the stuff he needs.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for a butcher so that I can resupply myself.
Okay. Yeah, so there are a few butchers in town. A lot of people do hunting on the edge of the forest and out in the plainslands. And so there are several that you can go and find and talk to.
I recommend before we all split up that we can meet back up in the city center this afternoon, and we'll come up with the plans for where to stay and let everybody know. I'll be heading off to find the Temple of Otterwhale.
Okay.
We also need to find a big tree.
Which it depends on how close to the city of Drusus you want to find it. You're still a ways from that. You need to basically
I meant here specifically, so that we can come back to here.
Oh, so that you can go back to Alexdam? Yeah, so you can
Yeah.
go to the edge of the forest, just on the other side of the city to do that. I knew that one of the main reasons you wanted to come up here was to find a tree for travel to Drusus. So that's why.
Well, and just because we can come back here, we're basically gonna find as many trees as we can as
Right.
we go.
Which
Yeah, I would also have been taking note of trees on our journey back from Blue Lake. Were there any trees large enough to meet our requirements?
no. So in all of the wetlands and things like that, none of the trees would be large enough to meet the requirements for transport via plants.
Gotcha.
So they are all the kind of thinner. Some were large enough to basically support your weight, but not large enough that they could create the portal you could step through. So,
Right.
but yeah. So
Of the druidic notifications around town, is there any notes or notations about meeting places or get-together times for
there's
druids?
not any messages about get-together times for Ilextam, but there are messages and notifications about upcoming DruidCon just outside of Drusus, and to be prepared for that. And anybody who wants to participate in setting up to meet there a month in advance.
Cool. I will. Would I know if I could leave a message that could get to other cities, or would it just be exclusive to this town?
So it's a message that's exclusive to this town, but if someone that is traveling comes across it, that they can take it to whatever. And so you have a network, but no timeline. So like you could leave a
Understood.
message for another city here, but you have no idea when it would reach that city.
It's
I
like the
will
worst
leave
version of
a.
AOL Messenger.
I'll leave a message that if anyone is headed towards Kingdom Under the Mountain, to get a message to Sephin, if it's in time to welcome. What was the dwarf's name? Dargan Wraithblade.
Dargrim Wraithblade?
Dargrim. Yeah. Is
Mhm.
that was the king, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should just sending Stefan about that. That seems like a big deal.
That's
Yeah.
honestly that's a good point. So yeah. So then
Like, hey, by the way,
I
we
won't send
found
that.
one of your ancient heroes.
That is
He's coming
probably a
home.
better option. I'll talk to
Yeah, we
Alondiel
should do that.
in the evening.
Because he's gonna
Yeah.
like start a war or something. Or be like, I'm the king still, boy.
I
Like
mean,
fight the
there
queen or
still is a war going on there, anyways. So
yeah, but he's gonna
Sure.
start another
I
one.
wasn't trying to betray anything about the war. I was just trying to let Sephin know to be welcoming to the guy with that name. How common was that lore outside of the Kingdom Under the Mountain?
Outside of the mountain, not at all.
Yeah, not at all. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's a
that was
better
the whole reason
suggestion.
we got
All
arrested was because
right.
yeah.
Although this is old enough that a king wouldn't be a bad word. Like
Sure.
he's ancient enough that it's before even the age of kings. So
Right, but I wasn't going to reference him as a king. I was just going to reference him by his first name, like
Yeah.
be welcoming to this guy, and that's kind of
I
all I
mean,
was thinking to do. But that, I mean, that's a better suggestion to have Alondiel send a message, and I should have had him do that a long time ago. But I'll talk to him about that tonight.
yeah, because it's been several days since you left them.
Yep.
It's been 9 days since you left the dwarfs, I want to say.
Would it have been long enough for them to get to the kingdom?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then I would like. Oh, damn.
Because
Yeah, it's
they know the
retroactive at this
ways and the
point. So
secrets
yeah.
of the mountains. So
Yep.
we can at least explain where we found him. You're like, by the way, that guy that may or may not be running a war in your country, here's where he came from.
where did he come from? Where did he go?
I can't retroactively
Caught
do
in a
that
dwarf.
to Alondiel, right? Like have
It's
him
too
send a
late.
message days ago.
It's too late.
Gotcha. That's
It's
To
fine.
one
be
of those
fair,
things I was keeping track of from the moment that they left you guys.
to be fair,
Understood.
almost
That
immediately
makes a lot of sense.
thereafter, we were like, we have to destroy the statue, and we ran through the night and all, and
Yeah. I was thinking
Like-
like post that it would make sense to like, oh, we should probably give Sephin a heads up. So yeah, I didn't even think about sending on Alondiel. I didn't even dawn on me that Alondiel had that spell.
I mean, you had higher priorities though, so it's understandable.
Sure. Like our attention was elsewhere. That's true. But yeah.
Yeah.
Even when Alondiel said days ago that he sent a message to Granite, didn't even think about it.
Yep. I mean, he's been sending messages pretty much every night. Just,
Yeah. The mistakes on my side. Absolutely on my side.
Okay. But yeah. So if you want to send a message to Seven tonight, you definitely can.
hey, our bad.
Sorry for the
Hey.
late notice, but please be aware that this guy could be the genuine article.
We yeah,
Found
he
him
was
in a
trapped in
mirror. He was there for
time
hundreds
trap.
of years.
Yeah. We've been attempting to reach you about your extended warranty.
We've been attempting to reach you about your King's extended warranty. New and improved. Old and restored? Whatever.
Classically restored.
Classically restored. There we go. All right. Okay. So anything else that you're wanting to do in Ilex Dam? Get a tree so that you can come back and visit, get materials that you need,
yeah.
leave messages, visit the
I'm
temple.
gonna summon my imp.
Visit the temple and inform them of my terrible fears of what's happening to the divines.
Okay.
Is there a temple to Thalia in this town?
There is not.
Gotcha.
So
Is there a temple to Maquette? I'm guessing no.
no.
Might as well check. Yeah.
She's not the temple having kind. She doesn't have a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Is we're kind of
So like the one you know of is in Drusus, who seems to have one to every deity. There is a temple to Agricola and Cadolva here, as well as where are my divine list here?
Agricola is an amazing game, by the way.
Yeah. So yes, So yeah. So in addition to Arnwell and that, there is in this city, there's not many, because most of them revolve around nature and elves, and those are really the two big is Arnwell and then Agricola and Caldava. But there's also Loetta, the goddess of wildlife and hunting. Here, she is a lesser divine, and then there is, and this would matter to Ito, but Ito is not here. There is a temple to what's her name, the goddess of the lost. Who that was who Ito saw in his vision. Let me go grab her name. Nadir Vinebraids. She is a centaur, so she would appeal to you potentially as well, Mizeki.
Yeah. But she's like a forest centaur lady, right?
What do you mean for a centaur? She's like the same kind of centaur as Argus.
Okay.
So where she's more fey than you are.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
Is there a
I'll
library?
probably visit.
there is a Ayatopia Society here. So
I will find the library.
okay.
I'm gonna summon my imp, and his name is Derecho, and he will immediately go invisible.
Okay.
And be a raven, and he'll just sit on my back. I will probably mumble at him using message quite often.
Fair enough.
Wait, can I talk to him telepathically, or is that one of the upgrades?
I think that's an upgrade, but I don't remember for sure. I'd have to go look at the warlock stuff.
Yeah, give me a minute. I will find it.
Okay.
I can communicate within 100 feet of it. I can communicate telepathically. Yeah, the upgrade makes it on this plane, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the 100 feet is just a part of the spell.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so yeah, I'll talk to him constantly.
Okay.
Just chat with him.
As long as he's within 100 feet.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you're wanting to do in the city here?
I don't want to put words in Ito's mouth, but was he looking to get plate?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember. This is an
He
issue
can
with
also
Yeah.
people
shop
out
in
here.
Druthis. He can shop
Yeah,
another time.
Yeah, he can shop in
definitely does
Drusus
want.
Yeah.
for sure.
Worst case, we can get some intrusives for him. But yeah, he almost certainly wants better armor.
Right.
Should we sell your art and loot from Typhon's out of your vessel?
I feel like
Don't
that's not a
you
bad idea. Go ahead.
don't you think they would get a higher price in Drusus or somewhere farther away? Or do you think there's like
Maybe.
interest in this town?
I don't know. Maybe we can find out and do a little bit of walking around talking. What would it be to sell this stuff? I have no idea what skill that would be now because there's no equivalent to bartering.
So a lot of it depends on several factors. Like you've got to find a merchant, and then it's your charisma-based skills, so persuasion, potentially deception, and intimidation, depending on like how you're trying to do things and how it goes about, and that's all gonna be dependent on the merchant and what the merchant knows of stuff. So, and how scummy they are.
I am okay with lying to people in Drusus. So if we're okay with keeping it until then.
I'm okay with that.
Depends on if
Alright.
Elondiel wants to make space in the back.
I mean, I'm keeping the diamonds. We've got a bunch of currency. I mean, it wouldn't hurt actually to pick up another bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe there's a bunch of potions you guys never got identified
Yes.
that you picked up.
We were just gonna drink them in a time of need.
So I don't know if you want to like purchase a pearl for Zerdig here, so Zerdig can do
That's probably a
identify.
really good idea.
That is
Didn't
probably a
we-
great idea. Yeah.
Didn't we give him one?
They gave me a pearl of power, but you can't use
Yeah,
that
that counts.
pearl in the identify spell, can you?
Yeah, you can. It's a pearl worth more than 100 gold.
So
If that's the case, then that's
Because I
fantastic.
guarantee a pearl of power is a magical item. It's worth more than 100 gold.
Yeah. Does that work, Insanity?
so the ruling on it was if it was worth 100 before, it became magically enchanted.
Okay.
Because
Is this nice pearl?
it's nice-ish. So, but yeah, that was what we talked about when Zerdig wasn't here. Was because you guys asked about that.
All right. Well, let's get 100 GP pearl, a
Yeah.
bigger, nicer, less magical one.
So, which is easy enough to do. Where the heck did I put the loot so that I can go remember what those potions were?
It's been so long.
It has been.
We've just been carrying around unidentified items and
Like,
random things.
I know what some of them are. Oh,
Was there any other scrolls or any other items that we didn't have identified at this point?
Unless it's the really old ones, like from the null base.
yeah, there are some old ones
That's
that you don't
where
have
the
identified
potions are
from the base in Kuche. From
Okay, I thought we'd gotten those all identified.
you
one
went
point or
to
another.
go get them identified and then just talked to the shopkeeper and never said, "Hey, please identify this for us." It was one of the funniest things for me ever because like you went to that city, Eddie, by using the teleportation network, and that was already on like the start of out of permission stuff that I was making notes on, and like the guards were like, "Oh yeah, remember to talk to them about the alleyway and why it is that way." And
Orthrus. The city
yeah,
of Orthrus. Right.
yeah,
We went there and found out they don't have homeless.
yeah,
Suspiciously, they don't have homeless.
yeah. And so like you guys went down the alley and got to the shop, and you just started talking to him. And instead of doing anything you went there to do, you just talked to him and then left.
Well,
And I was
and
just
Zerdig
like,
also wanted to figure out why, but we all bounced.
yeah,
We were also very poor at the moment. He's like, "You want to buy anything?" I'm like, "I got 10 gold."
yeah. But
we felt uncomfortable because we were poor, so we fled.
But like you had the money to get at least some of them identified. I feel like so. Why you didn't do it? Here we go. I found them. So if you want to get them identified, I know what they all are now.
Yeah, well, that would make sense.
Okay.
We could just have Zerdig do it after he gets the pearl. We'll pay once and then identify him. Zerdig can sit
Yeah,
there
if
and
we
look at
get
these.
the pearl, he doesn't have it prepped though, because he doesn't have a pearl, so it has to be tomorrow.
Yeah. There
But we can
is
do it
a
fully.
scroll of identify that you have that no one has used yet because no one decided what they wanted to use it on. And you
We should
found
save
most
that
of the
for
items by just
later.
attuning to them. You figured out what they were by just doing that.
We
haven't
identified
figured out
some
the
stuff.
shield, right? Is the shield the one thing we haven't identified?
You haven't identified the shield or any of the potions. Although, yeah, two of them you're pretty sure you know what they are just because they match the color and
What do you have written down? Hold on. We may have actually gotten these identified when we got the ring identified.
I mean, I have 4 potions listed in things we got from Typhon's lab, not what they are. I have like pearl shield, slipper, staff is the magic items, and 4 potions.
right.
Okay, so we have the new potions we haven't identified.
Right. And you never got the ones identified from the mayor's basement in Kuche. I know because I'm still
Okay.
waiting for someone to drink one of those.
Okay.
and for me to
yeah,
cackle
let's-
in laughter.
Let's get those identified.
Yeah. Okay, we got the ones from the base of the knolls
Yeah, the
identified.
fort.
Just
No.
not the okay,
Not
not the
basement.
mayor's.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of potions that we haven't really paid attention to.
Yeah.
We just keep them all in a bag. They're unlabeled, and you just reach in and drink one, and it's a game.
It's a
I
game.
think we have several scrolls none of us have used either. Like I know I have one that I haven't used.
Yep. And there were some additional scrolls. One of them, I don't know if anybody can actually use that you found, because I don't know if it was on anybody's spell list. Let me double check. I don't remember the conversation that we had that day. Whose spell list are you on? Okay, no. So Sadzi would know that one. So, because one of the scrolls that you got was comprehend language.
I have comprehend language, distort value. I don't know if I wrote that right. And comprehend language. So identify, comprehend language, distort value.
Right.
I
Those
don't
were
know.
the 3 scrolls you found. Yeah, and distort value is on Sadzi's list. Okay. I wasn't sure if those were both on the sorcerer list or not. So yeah. So there's comprehend languages and distort value, which are both on the sorcerer list. Distort values on the warlock list as well. Is comprehend languages on the warlock list? Comprehend languages is also on the warlock list, so both Sadzi and Mizeki can cast those. And then identify. We know it's for sure on the artificer list because the artificer has the spell.
So do I. I think I have it for a cleric.
Are you a forge domain cleric or a knowledge domain cleric?
Twilight. Why do I have identify? Oh, I don't have identify. I'm sorry. I have detect magic. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's bard, wizard, artificer, and then knowledge and forge domains for identify.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to keep it.
yeah,
in
and then there
case of
were the
time of need.
scrolls that you found back in the basement, the mayor's basement in Kuche, that you were all able to identify because they were one from each of the spellcasters list at the times, but you haven't used them, so. And hopefully you still have them written down because I don't know where those notes
I
are
do.
anymore.
I have them written down.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you can get the pearl, and then the next day, you can spend time identifying everything you didn't get identified. So how many potions did you write down? You wrote down 4 from Typhon's lab, right?
I have 4 written, yes.
Okay, cool. That's the number that I have. But for some reason, I was thinking that wasn't what you said. So yeah, you're able to get everything identified on the next day after you get that pearl. So the shield is just a simple +1 shield. So it gives you a little bit of extra protection. I don't know if Ito actually uses a shield. I don't remember. But I imagine
Ito usually uses like a spear.
Yeah, so I mean, could do a shield there. So Ito might want that. We'll leave that up to Ito. And then
I also
yeah,
use
Ito
a
has
shield,
the
but I have
Shieldmaster
one.
feat.
Yeah, he
Okay,
definitely
yeah,
uses
then
the shield 'cause
definitely
he
wants
uses it to
that.
knock people over.
Okay. And then one of the potions from Typhon's lab is a potion of Hill Giant Strength. And then one of them is a potion of Fire Breath. And then the other 2 are potions of Greater Healing. And that's what you
There's
found.
2 of those?
Yes. And that's what you found in Typhon's lab. And then the potions that you don't know there that you found from the mayor's basement, you have one of them has that black symbol of the shop that you went to visit in Orthrus. And the other one does not have that symbol. You get them identified. The one with the black symbol is just a regular potion of healing, like all the others that you've gotten with that symbol on it. The one without that symbol on it is actually a potion of poison. Which is why I was always asking, which one are you drinking? Because it looks like a potion of healing. And only the identify spell reveals its true nature. So
Well, you know what they say. The dosage makes the cure or the poison.
yeah,
Now we can subtly kill someone.
yeah. Here, drink this. It'll make you feel better.
Like the mayor.
So,
I swear, it's just amaretto.
yep. All right. So you have spent a day in Ilextan. You have gone and found a tree nearby to be able to come back here whenever you would like.
How much would I'd like to get a look into getting another bag of holding.
Okay.
I think that'd be helpful.
A second bag of holding for the party.
Yeah.
All right. Let me look up that. Okay. So that would be 500 gold for a bag of holding.
I'm sure we're cool taking that out of the party fund. We've got a lot of currency.
Yeah, that seems
Yep.
like a good plan.
I mean,
Okay, and then who would like to hold that
Dipsies.
one? I think it'd be nice to have it split up.
Dibsies.
Mizeki would like it, it sounds like.
Partly because it makes it easier for me to load and unload stuff from the magical space.
From your other extra dimensional space?
It doesn't count. It's not specifically mentioned. It doesn't explode. Otherwise, that would be horrible.
Or hilarious.
Yeah, I disappear into my extra-dimensional space. There's a pop, and then I no longer exist.
You exist just in the astral sea.
I shortly no longer exist.
I have deducted 500 from the party fund.
Okay. And Mizeki can add a bag of holding.
Yay.
All right. Are there any other items that you guys found that you didn't get identified along the way in various places?
I think we got everything checked, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. Once I give it to you, I tend to forget about it. I'm like, here you go. This is yours.
I would also at some point give the Onyx Cuboid and the Onyx Cube to Zirdig to see what he gets out of Identify.
Okay.
Cool.
Ooh,
You can do that
interesting.
tomorrow, unless we want to resolve that now. But I figure we're doing this old and long resting, right?
Yeah, we can chill.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's already the next day where you're already doing identifying a bunch of things, so. Like, spending more time, since it's just a ritual, is really up to you whether you want to spend that time. So.
Yeah, Zerda can do that. He can do some identifies.
Mm-hmm.
Ore is going to be very present and pay attention to everything that happens while he's doing this.
Zerdig has made a new magical invention that helps him identify things since he's an artificer. That's one thing that's always been funny with artifice. But yeah, he'll use his immense knowledge of magical items, weapons, and such, and then he also has like a monocle that he's made that's like a heads-up display that helps catalog all the information. So that's his identification device.
Like a jeweler's loop.
Nice.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So you cast Identify. Do you want to do the cube or the cuboid first?
Let's do the cuboid because we've had that one the longest.
Okay. All right. Make an Arcana check with disadvantage when you do so.
Guidance.
All right, one moment. $16, even with disadvantage.
Nice. Oh yeah, because you have a +7. I was like, dang, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
+7 plus guidance. So it was a +10 just now. I rolled a 6. I actually rolled pretty poorly.
wait, yeah. How is it 16?
Because it's +10. I got +7, and then the guidance was a 3. And my base roll was a 6.
Oh yeah. Okay. For some reason, my math was off by 1, and I'm just like, that's not what. Okay. Um. So with the 16 Arcana, you focus on the Identify spell, and as you're touching the cuboid and casting your spell, um, everything gets muddled and muddy, and you get no response for identifying what this is, but you suffer
Hmm.
no ill effects either.
He'll turn to Ore and just pause for a second, like abnormally long, and he'll just be like bewildered. That's weird. Um, there must be something wrong with my identification device that I got no result at all, completely blank, as if it was just a rock or something. Or he kind of like has a flash of genius. He's like, maybe there's counter magic.
That is very peculiar.
He'll hand that one back, and then he'll try the same thing on the cube.
Okay.
Guidance.
And still disadvantage when you make an Arcana check on this one.
Can we give him? Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. His first roll was still the 9.
Yeah, 19.
19.
I'm assuming he needs one more.
Yeah. So
Um,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a restore balance.
What does that
When a
do?
creature says when a creature you can see within 60 feet of you is about to roll a d20 with advantage or disadvantage, you can use your reaction to prevent the roll from being affected by advantage and disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah. The issue is though
So
his first
should
roll
I
was
just
still a
roll
9.
even then?
We'd just take your first roll in that case, so
Yeah.
that's still going to be the
Yeah.
19.
Okay,
Alright.
well we'll hold on to that then.
Yeah.
But if we did it beforehand, actually, my second roll was a 15.
That's not how probability works.
I know. That's why I was suggesting we just re-roll it if she's going to use that. Because
Yeah.
it's like you have two, one that's an advantage and one that's a disadvantage
Yeah.
right on screen. Like we can see it. If we're going to do that, I would vote we just re-roll.
Yeah, that we can re-roll. That's fine.
Hooray!
Straight roll.
Use that
Gonna
magical
roll a
power.
lot lower this time. It's gonna be like a 2.
17.
It was a 9 again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and lower on the
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
dice have
D4 this
spoken.
time. Yeah. So again, as you kind of focus on it, as you're casting your spell, everything just gets muddled, and you aren't not able to get anything from this. It just doesn't seem to want to do anything. But again, no ill effects either.
All right. He'll hand it back to Ore and say, I guess I'll have to try again tomorrow or something.
I do appreciate the valiant efforts. I feel there's still some pertinence to these items falling into our possession. Thank you again.
Rock and stone, Ore, he'll say, and then he'll start tinkering with his identification device immediately.
Rock and stone.
Okay. All right. So you are in the city of Ilixdam. You've spent a day here now, and now another full day with identifying all of the various things that you've gotten. While you've been here, the city has been bustling, and it is majority elf. There are a few humans and dwarfs and halflings and some of the other minor races here, but not a whole lot. Is there anything more you're wanting to do or look for while you are here?
I was going to have you describe the library.
Oh, right. You went to the library, and I forgot about that. So this is, I wanted to say a large library, but you were from the one in Drusus, so this is a medium library to you. Um, It's got 2 stories of it, and it's in the same kind of elven architecture that the whole city is in. And a lot of the information here relates specifically to the forest, to the joy of trees, and a lot of it also focuses on elven culture and customs.
Am I able to find any information linking, and maybe this isn't the right library for it, but anything linking druids and the Stargazer Spire? Anything new that I didn't already find in Drusus?
Moongazer Spire. I was like, Stargazer Spire? That doesn't sound familiar to me. Moongazer Spire. That's what you mean.
That's what I meant. Yes. What did I say?
You said Stargazers. And I was
I
like,
meant Moongazer.
I
I'm
was
sorry
like,
about
I
that.
was like, is Stargazer somewhere else that I'm forgetting? Because I'm just like, that doesn't sound right to me. So I had to go pull up the map.
I don't remember all of my backstory.
Yeah, that's part of your backstory.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember all of it, apparently. I was thinking Stargazer. I apologize. Moongazer Spire
So
is what
you're
I meant to
looking
say.
for connections between druids and Moongazer Spire specifically?
Yeah, just trying to see if I can find any information that I don't already have. And I'm just, in my head, I'm a little more refreshed on wanting to look into it now that I'm thinking about some free time
Mm-hmm.
or open time in the next couple of months.
Right. So you're not finding anything specific about druids and connection to Moongazer Spire. It is a lot more connected with Thalia, the Star Mother, than anything else.
But no new information that I didn't already have.
Um, it's often treated as a temple to Thalia, so I'm not sure if you had that or not already, but yeah.
I did not have that. How, for finding that information out, how recent is that information compared to my experience there?
Um, that's historical. It's always been used as a temple to her since its creation.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's essentially a massive place to go and gaze upon the stars, which is her domain.
Is because it's historical information that way, is it anything that says that it's still in use?
You don't find anything that says it is still in use.
Got it. Okay. That's the other thing that I was wondering. Okay. Parallel to that, do I find any information on Genzen?
Um, so the information that you already have on Jinzin is all that you would find. That he functioned as a keeper of the spire for a number of years, um, and when he stopped, he just stopped. And that seems to line up with where you lost your memories. Just looking in the timeline, seems to be like he stopped at the same point that your memories of the past stop.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So, what would you all like to do now in this city? There's not too much going on and happening here.
Is there
I
not
feel
really
like
anything?
no. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying, is there not anything really interesting here then, other than what we've already seen?
Not particularly. Given that it's an elven city, it's most appealing to Alandiel, but there's just like not a whole lot that would bring tourists here. Type deal. It's not that kind of city.
I mean, I guess I could teach, point out all the different things. I'll compare and contrast with Zerdig. Like, oh, point out all the cool elven, above ground elven architecture, and like we can do a little bit of a cultural exchange.
Can we ask
Here.
Yeah.
around and see if there's anyone familiar with trees closer to Drusus?
Zerdig will really take in the architecture real quick before we get to that. he'll just kind of like take it in because he's never seen above ground elven architecture. So it's actually, despite the town being kind of mundane, it's one of the highlights for him because he feels like connected to the above ground elven people and having his homie Elendil pointing it out to him.
Right. So you, Mizeki, said you want to ask around for about trees closer to Drusus.
Yeah, see if anyone knows of and is familiar with trees closer to Drusus.
Yeah, so several people are here. They explain that the Joy of Trees goes all the way from the coast where the ocean is, all the way to the river just on the north side of Drusus. And so there are plenty of trees just on the opposite side of the river. And so from Ilixdam, you're looking at about 3 to 4 or 5 days, depending on how you're traveling to get there, whether you're staying along the edge or whether you're going through the forest itself to get there. A lot of them are druids talking about, yeah, we set up a big old convention that we have where we all get together and have good times at the edge of the forest near Drusus. So plenty of trees there. Some of them are my friends. We talk to them. They talk to us. It's good times.
Gonna look to Ore and see if Ore can explain to them what we're looking for as far as like the size of a tree, because Mizeki probably doesn't fully understand the concept. All of his experience with magic and druidism and stuff is it's beyond him a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He just sort of gets by pretending.
Right. And I mean, I know what you're getting at, and Ore doesn't have that spell available to him, so Ore's understanding is probably only moderately better
Well,
than yours anyway.
we want a big tree, please.
Yes. And you can just say that, and people understand what a big tree is.
Fair.
But,
We're looking for a large tree that someone here is familiar with because we have a staff that may allow us to transport ourselves.
okay. It's like, yeah, there are plenty of large trees over there.
And we've talked to them, which says that they're familiar.
The biggest tree is like in the center of the forest, but like center from the north and south direction, and it's more west of the center from the east west direction. There's the massive, massive tree there that shelters and gives canopy to many of the trees below. Like, that's the biggest tree you'll probably ever find.
Is this in Drusus or is this in the Joy of Trees?
That's in the Joy of Trees.
Okay. So there's a big ass tree in the Joy of Trees. Did
Was
anyone
it
they know of any in Drusus?
There are,
was that tree anywhere near Drusus when we went to DruidCon last year? Would we have seen that tree?
no. Like, so Drusus is to the east. So
Yeah.
and this is more to the west of the center point of the forest. So if you're looking at the map, it's where the J in
Yeah.
Joy is.
Okay.
So
Seems like a fun
like
place to
I,
visit.
I specifically positioned it there because I couldn't get the larger tree to actually show up. I was like, okay, I will position this
So
to
it's
know
under
where
the
it
J.
is. Because yeah, the like that tree is why it's known as the Joy of Trees.
It puts the
So
J in joy.
yes.
All right. Cool.
Are there safe and well-traveled passageways through the Joy of Trees?
Relatively. It depends on why you're passing through, whether they will be safe for you.
I personally would like to visit that tree that you just spoke of. Perhaps not now, but at some point I would like to be able to venture to there. We are also looking for safe travel to Drusus in the immediate future as well.
The roads are fairly safe. You can take them all the way down, past Hamlet, down on until you cross the river and head back up north to Drusus. Those are definitely safe.
I see. So there isn't a safe road to Drusus through the Joy of Trees.
There's a big river in the way.
Yeah. Again, the forest is a massive living organism. Safety will depend on why you are there.
I believe I understand. Thank you.
We'd probably be able to. Taking the road looks like it'd be fairly long to get back. The council might be waiting for our return.
Right.
We told them we coming back, so we don't want to put them off again, and then have them get upset about that too.
Right. So you can go through the forest if you'd like. Like I said, it's 3 to 5 days, depending on the way that you travel from Ilex Dam to Drusus, via the Joy of Trees, because you can skirt along its edges all the way without going into the forest, and that's going to be, your slightly faster road. But if you go into the forest where, now you have to deal with narrower paths and things like that and just more difficult terrain, it slows you down a bit. Or, you can head all the way down and south and back up to Drusus, which is going to take you just over probably 9 days in total.
Uh,
Just, yeah, just because you're making a big U instead of a straight line.
Right,
So,
I'd be fine following the tree line to get back to Drusus.
yeah, because I know that was part of your intent, is you wanted to get up here and find a tree near Drusus. So, abandoning that and taking the U would be kind of counterproductive to what you want to do. But if you're worried about
Yep.
the danger, it's understandable.
I am not worried about the danger. We're going into the dangerous forest.
Okay.
Let's do
We'll hug
this.
the edge of the forest,
Oh, okay.
and
Fine.
maybe once we get close to the river, we can go in a bit. Unless you want to go,
I
yeah,
want to go into the dangerous forest. I want to go see the giant tree, to be honest.
I do as
that'll
well.
If the
that'll delay
world's going
us
to
a
be
lot.
destroyed and the gods are dead and everything, like,
Well, here's the thing: we can go along the edge. We can get to Drusus, give our in-person reports that the council's waiting on us, so
and
they
then
don't drop
teleport
us as
back
extreme,
here.
and then teleport back here and go up,
Perfect.
and then we'll because that'll give us a tree close to Drusus, close to the river, and
Yeah.
we'll find
Okay.
one right out
All
here
right.
by the town that we can pop back to.
You've convinced me.
Okay.
That sounds like a
I
plan.
like that too.
All right. Easy enough. So the plan is to leave Ilex Dam, skirt along the edge of the Joy of Trees until you reach the river, and then from there.
Water walk the river into Drusus. Yep.
Okay, you didn't want to go find a tree first. You'll do
Well,
that after your report?
no. I guess we'll want to find one close to the river that's big enough.
Okay, yeah. So as soon as you get to the river, then actually enter the forest until you find a tree large enough for your purposes,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to Drusus. Okay.
Correct.
Easy enough to do. You guys can head out and begin making your way there. I need to do
Making
some
our way
quick
downtown.
math because my brain isn't working today. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So your first day, you guys begin traveling along the edge of the forest. Um, and it's fairly uneventful. You do hear lots of various animal sounds and noises just coming from the forest as it's on your left side, making your way towards the city. But you're able to continue on without any events on the first day.
Ore would be kind of clocking the different sounds and trying to ascertain which each of the sounds comes from, animals or plants that might be in there.
Okay. Yeah. So give me just a general nature check. And you can do so with advantage, given that you're a druid and very familiar with that kind of thing.
Rolling.
And we totally did the sending for Sephin.
Did someone get the
23.
wording? 23? Yeah, you're able to identify which of the noises are animals and which of them are plants and get a pretty good idea of what is in the forest, and it's nothing unusual.
That is a very pretty bird. If you listen to it, you can hear the high pitches in it. Oh, it just was eaten by a cat, a very large cat.
Okay. So did someone write up the message that you wanted to send to Sefin?
No.
Ori
Dirty.
was the one that wanted to send the
Send
message.
yourself a message.
Yeah, I'll put something together really quick.
Yeah, or you can toss
25
something.
words?
Yeah,
25
we covered
words.
Yeah.
the main ideas of what basically we want to explain this guy's name, where we found him. He was trapped in time in a mirror.
But remember, you're Ore, so hey Sefin, this is Ore. Long time no talk. How are you doing? We're doing great.
Looking forward to
Honestly,
hearing
I
from
already
you.
have like 5 of those words already partly written in there. So yeah, that's very fitting.
Yeah. Big waste of them. But, okay. All right. While you're writing that up, since you guys did talk about that, we will retroactive this sending to when you were in Ilextan. But the second day continues, goes by again, uneventful, nothing massive happening. The noises get a little bit more wild as you are now close to the forest for your second day. But still, nothing comes at you, nothing surprising there. And then on your third day, you continue making your way through the edge of the forest. And as night is setting, you reach the river. You're able to then turn into the forest, and it takes you about 5 minutes to find a tree that's large enough. You have to barely go into the forest to find one that fits your qualifications for transport via plants, and you're able to make note of that. And then you're able to cross the river into the port of Drusus. And we'll end our session there, but I guess the last thing our session will be is the message to Sefin, and we'll see how that goes. So once you have that ready, Ore. I
Just
rolled
placed it. I had to take off the last couple of words to make it 25.
cool. I rolled really crap on your random encounters and stuff. And I was just like, oh, nothing's happening along this forest. It was very uneventful. Okay. Hi, Sefin. This is Ore. We freed a dwarf named
That's how I had it written down. I'm not sure that's exactly how you had it written. That's just how I
Yeah.
had it written down.
It's Dargraim. So M, not an N.
So I was close.
Like the spelling's a little bit off, but it's close enough. He has an amazing story. Please see that hi is
I meant to say he. I mistyped
treated
it. I'm
with
sorry about that.
respect is okay. So Sefin, you get this message.
Yes.
Message from Ore.
None of the important information except his name.
You get the name that they freed a dwarf and give his name, and the name does ring a bell to you. And Ori promises he has an amazing story and say treat him with respect. Is what you get from the message. Rhaega, as a player,
Yeah.
do you want everybody to leave before you give me your answer and ask questions? Because I can tell you where Sefin is, and you may not want other people to know.
Yeah, we can do that after we end, and then
Okay.
we can just stick on for a minute.
So we will start next session with a response from Sefin. So that is where our session will end. Thanks so much for everybody for coming out. Again, sorry about the lack of the DM for like the first hour of the session today. I apologize. That's on me. But we kind of recapped what you missed, and hopefully you still felt a bit of it from the player side because you did still hear them the whole time. But thanks again for coming out and hanging out with us. Our next session will be in either 2 or 3 weeks. We played this week because we couldn't play next week, which would have been our normal week. So it depends on whether we want this to be our new rotating schedule, or get back onto our normal rotating schedule. And so just follow Almost a Party on Twitter and look for updates there. And we will let you know when our next session is. But thanks everybody for coming out and watching. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.
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 Bye.